This is May with Emergent Tree Education, and I'm here today to talk about the process of connecting with children through journaling. Now, journaling is a technique and a process utilized by teachers regularly with their students. But it's not only a technique to help build writing skills, it's a great way for teachers to connect and get to know their students. Parents can utilize it for the same thing. Journaling doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to take a lot of resources, and it's something you can do easily in your schedule that works for you. The process starts with finding something that's going to serve as your journal. In my household, my sons utilize old spiral notebooks from the previous school year that were never completed. We've ripped out the old pages and started them as their journals. Then you want to pick topics. This is a great way to vary this activity, whether you have very young children or whether you have tweens and teenagers. You can find age-appropriate prompts and topics that are really something they're willing to think about and share. These topics can be anything from silly to really serious. A few example topics from my own children's journals. We had one that said, if you could make a rule that everyone in the world had to follow, what would it be and why? Or another one was, what's your favorite thing to do with our family? And the one my son added recently was, if you could be any Avenger, who would it be and why? These are great ways to hear what your kids are thinking and then for you to respond back with your own thoughts. After you've established your materials and your topics, you want to figure out the frequency with which you're going to do this journaling. It can be done as frequently as daily, where your child writes and then you respond and the next day they write again, or if you prefer, more on a weekly basis. But don't just leave it up to when we feel like it, because if we're not intentional and schedule it, sometimes these great practices just fall off our radar and we realize 6 months has gone by and we haven't engaged in this process. After you determine the frequency and you have your topics, then you're ready to go. After your child responds to a prompt, be sure to respond back. This isn't meant to be one-way communication or just a test for your child to have to fill in. It's really a chance for you to respond as well. Don't be nitpicky about the length of the journal they wrote. Don't be nitpicky about the grammar. The purpose is really just to hear what your child is thinking. And whether you have a child who wants to write 2 pages worth or just a sentence, it's a chance to really see what they're thinking and how they're feeling, and then to respond back as a parent with your own thoughts. Journaling really provides families sometimes a way to talk about topics they wouldn't otherwise. Maybe one that your teen or tween is a little bit too embarrassed to say in person, but they're willing to write it down. You can make a lot of adjustments to this process by having your child draw their response instead of write it, or even to record a video message. Be creative and use it however works best for your own child and yourself. I hope this process of shared journaling is just a small component that will help you to build better, stronger relationships within your family.